Hello friends, welcome to another chapter of Excel training. Today in this chapter we'll learn about the Excel logical functions. Now if you want to know what kind of logical functions are there in Excel, what you can do, you can go to formula, logical, and you can see all these functions are logical functions. So out of those functions we'll be covering over here and function, if function, or function, and not function. The balance functions are for you to explore, and if you are having any doubts or any queries regarding those two functions, you can always get back to us. Now logical function means what? Logical function means those functions where certain logic is being applied. If you want to understand, we'll start with the if function. Okay, now just giving you a brief about the if function. This function basically tests a condition, and if the condition is met, it is considered to be true. If the condition is not being met, it is considered as false. So depending upon whether the conditions are met or not, the actions will be carried out. Now let's assume you have three salespeople, Alan, Bob, Carol, and they have done some sales in a particular month, and this was the target. Now we just want to understand whether they have achieved the target or not. What you can do, just delete these things, then we can do it again together. Equal to if tab, first we have to mention the logical test. So logical test should be if sales is greater than equal to target. Okay, so achieved, so target achieved. If it is less than the target, so the result we want is not achieved. Just enter. So Alan target was 5,000, but he has done sales only worth 1,000, so he has not achieved the targets. You just then simply drag it, and you will come to know how many people have achieved the targets and how many people haven't achieved the targets. Now just assume that you have a long list of salespeople or dealers, or it can be anything, or students who have sat for a particular exam. If you say that, suppose you have a list of students who have sat for a particular exam, and you say students scoring 60% qualifies for round 2, otherwise they don't. You can simply mention this if condition, and Excel will help you out to straight away filter those students who haven't scored more than 60% marks. Okay, let us understand more about if function by next example. This is almost the same example, so I'm not going deep into it. Now let's assume, just read the example. You have again few salespeople. They have done some sales and they have certain targets. But in this case, the condition is if the sales are greater than or equal to the target, the commission is 10% of sales. If the salespeople achieves sales greater than or equal to the target, the commission should be 10%. If the sales people are unable to reach to the target, the commission should be only 5%. So you have to find out the value of commission which will be payable to all the sales people. So again, in this case, what we'll do, just mention the simple if formula. Equal to if, press tab, sales should be greater than equal to target. If it is true, then sales into 10% should be the commission value, and if it is false, then sales into 5% should be the commission value. So in this case, the commission will be 50, 50, 600 and 100. This will be the commission which will be payable to all the sales team. Okay, so this is how, what is the importance of if function. See, During the course of this lecture, we'll be doing just the basics. We'll be touching up just on the basics as far as the logical functions are concerned. Later on in our bonus lectures or our additional lectures, we'll give you worksheets where you need to find out what we say. We'll give you extensive data where you have to use if function in order to come to a particular conclusion, or in order to find out how many dealers have qualified for a particular scheme, what is the amount of discount you should give to a particular dealer, so those kind of things. Now again, in this case, there is a combination of if function and function. As of now, we haven't done the and function, so what we'll do, we'll first finish off the and function and then we'll come back to this example. When we talk about and function basically tests two or more conditions to check whether both the conditions are true or not. It can be used to test that a series of number meets certain conditions. So some basic definitions are given over here about the AND function. You can have a look at it. Now let's do some calculations by using the AND function. So we have to test 200, 230, these numbers are given. We have to test equal to and whether this number is greater than 100 and this number is less than 300. If both these conditions are being met, only it will give a true result. True. Okay. It is again true because C6, this is more than 100 and this is less than 300. Now in this case, C7 more than 100, it is not. Okay, so D7 less than 300, it is not, so false. In this case, C8 more than 100, so there is no value, so 0 is greater than 100, false, and D8 less than 300, it's false. See, in this case some different values are being used, that is why the results are not matching. So you can use whatever values you are comfortable with. It's just for the understanding purpose. Now let's assume name of students is given and their score in maths is being given. Okay, now we have to find out students who have scored above average in all the three exams. In order to find out students who have scored above average in all the three exams, first we have to find out the average. For that, what we'll do, equal to average .47 is average for maths, 54 is average for English, and 60 is the average for physics. So we want names of those students who have cleared, who have scored above average in all the three exams. So we will write the formula as equal to and this should be greater than this should be greater than average, and this should be greater than this. Sorry. This should be greater than the average for maths. Along with that, what we'll do, we'll freeze these things. We'll make it absolute reference. Okay, because as soon as we'll drag it, so for every student it will check the condition with respect to this average. We have freeze these cells. So true, Alan has scored, just simply drag it and you will get the value. Yeah, so Bob couldn't score more than average. He has scored more than average only in maths, but in English and physics he has not scored. In case of Carol, she has scored in maths, English, but in physics she has failed. Okay, so this is the way how you use the AND function. You can give 2 to 3 logical conditions and then test whether all the conditions are being met or not. Now let's again go back to our this example. In this case, the question is a particular builder is giving a 10% discount on certain product lines. The discount is only given on product lines which are on special offer when the order value is 1000 or above. So some products are given. You can check whether special offer is there or not, then order value. So we have to check for two conditions. First, whether special offer is there, and second, whether order value is more than 1000 or not. If both the conditions are being met, on the order value will get a discount of 10%. If either of the conditions is not being met, then the discount won't be applicable. So how will you write the formula for this? Will be equal to if and tab this equal to yes. Okay, the product should be on the special offer, and second should be order value should be more than 1000. So these are the two conditions which you have to check. So this is our logical test. So we are using AND function in the logical test. Okay, now if both these conditions are being met, okay, then we want this into 10%. Okay, and if either the condition is not being met, we want result as 0. So 200. So this is the way how will you calculate the discount. For your reference, you can again download the worksheet, you can again have a look at it, you can play with it, you can copy this example to a new Excel sheet and again learn more about it. Okay, so this was regarding the AND function and if function. Now let's learn about the OR function. In case of OR function, so this function can test two or more conditions to check if any one of them is true. So now let's say this example only. Let's say either the product should be on special offer or he should make a purchase of 1000 rupees. If either of the condition is true, we'll give a discount of 10%. So that is or this or that. So at least one of the conditions should be okay, or it should meet the criteria. So like in this case, this is the OR function. So we'll just straight away go to the example and learn more about it. So the condition given is a handling charge of £5 is being made on all orders paid by Visa or Delta cards. The OR function has to be used to determine whether the charge needs to be applied or not. So these are few orders, the order value and the payment type. So we have to find out whether handling charge should be applicable or not. So what we will do, equal to if or this equal to Visa, comma this equal to Delta. Okay, this is the logical condition. If either of them is true, 5, otherwise 0. So in this case there is no handling charge which should be applied. In this case 5, in this case again 5. So this is the way how we deal with the OR function. Now the last one which we are doing today in logical functions is NOT. So NOT basically performs a test to see if the test fails. It's a type of reverse logic. So let us make it much more simple. 10, like the formula which we are using over here is C5 greater than D5. C5 is greater than D5. If we use normally equal to C5 greater than D5. It will give false as the, let me just make it much more visible for you. It will give false as the result because C5 is not greater than D5. But as soon as you will put a not function, N-O-T, not, function, so it becomes true. Okay, so it's a kind of reverse logic. Same way, C6 is not equal to D6, but because of not, it is true. And again have a look at it so that you can learn more about it. Now let's do one simple example for not function. It is basically the following. The below table is being used by the library to track books being borrowed by various subscribers. So this is the date on which the book was taken out is entered. Period of loan is 14 days and the book is returned on this date. Okay. Now with the help of not function, we have to find out whether the book was returned within the correct time or it was not, what we say, returned within the correct time. If it's not returned within the correct time, the overdue value will be shown. Okay. So now the formula which we will be using is equal to if not, that is D34 less than equal to this plus this. Okay, so D34 less than equal to, let me just break it down so that you can understand it in a much better way. D34 is this. If this is less than equal to this plus this, it is true. D34 is less than equal to this. But if we make it a not function, then it will be if not this. If this condition is being met, it is overdue. If it is not being met, it is okay. Okay. Now you can again have a look at this problem, and if you have any doubts, please get back to us. We'll take it ahead. Okay. Thanks for your attention. Thank you.